Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we are all doing well. I am doing fantastic. I am here for the week of March 10th through March 16th. As you will notice, I have skipped a week. I am not planning and showing you guys the week of March 3rd through March 9th. Really rough week for me that week, emotionally, death in the family, and I wanted to plan it off camera, which is fine. Everybody is entitled to a little bit of privacy. Anywho, this was a really exciting week because not only was it my first March break as my kid had March break for the first time, but also we went away on our first family vacation. Now, if you're new here, I have two children. One of them's 5. One of them is currently just shy of 2.5, or 3 rather. And we went on a family vacation for the first time. We would have gone on one before, but COVID. So this was the first time. And we didn't go for the whole week. We went from Thursday through Sunday, and that was more than enough. But it was a really busy week. I took the full week off of work. My kids were in their daycare stuff until Wednesday, and then I pulled them out. So I got a couple of days to get things done around the house. I feel like I am making progress. I started, oh my God, don't mind my nails. They did match the spread, which was really fun. I decided to go in a straight across pattern. I did go a straight across the week before, but the week that you previously saw prior to this was a scatter. So I thought straight across would be fine. And this kit UFO, now I did not have the arcade kit in hand when I planned this originally, so I would have used that, even though it wasn't the entire week, but I would have used that instead. However, I thought this was fun. I thought this was funky. There's a lot of touristy stuff to do with UFOs. So I thought, you know what, we went to, I would say, the top tourist destination in Canada, which is Niagara Falls. Certainly in Ontario, it is the top tourist destination, which was very interesting. There were very few people from the States there, and most of the employees at Niagara Falls, Canada. If you guys didn't know, there are 2 sides to the falls. Niagara Falls in New York is Buffalo, New York. Yeah, New York is dull. We have the fun stuff. Anyway, it was a ghost town. You'd expect a lot more people, especially for March break in Canada, especially for all the hockey tournaments, blah, 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 that go on. Nope, there was nothing. Anyway, let me get into the day by day because I think that's infinitely more important than the kit base laydown. And because this was a vacation week, I did do extra. This was a mystery kit. It came with foil, and oh boy, did I ever get foily. Oh my God. Anyway. So on Monday, first things first, I started out with a squidge from Stick with the Plan Co. I noted sleep in quotations because it was the first day of vacation. And then I used a squish from Fox and Cactus to note that I had pretty intense gastro issues on this day. I don't know where these glasses stickers are from, but I picked up my glasses from the optometrist, my new ones. It was amazing. I could see. And then I went and did some errands. So I mailed some packages out to Ansley and Christy. And then I don't need no man. So I put up a shower curtain all by myself. Actually, it wasn't that hard, and it was a nice bathroom refresh. I really felt it was a nice way to do my bathroom. In the afternoon, I worked on presents for my husband's birthday. His birthday was on the Friday, and then I finished Butcher and Blackbird, and I used a spicy book from Fox and Cactus for that. Then after this, I went on my walking pad for 25 minutes. I actually went for a walk run on this day. And then I used the Coffee Monsters Co. little pencil. Oh my goodness. To note that I picked up my big kid from school. I don't often get to do this when I'm working, so this was very exciting for me. Then moving on to Tuesday, I walked my big kid to school. Again, I don't often get to do this. I had more gastro issues. I changed the sheets on my little guy's bed, and then I did both of their laundry because it was laundry central. Both of those are icons from the kit. Then I filmed using a filming slate from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. September 9 through 15. I don't know why I typed 19 through 15. If you see that, no, you didn't. I filled the feeder from the Prairie Planner. Now, I forgot to mention, you can get 20% off your order from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. using the code ALEX20, or you can use the code ALEX20 at the Prairie Planner for additional 20% off your order. I am not a PR girl for Sweet Tea Sticker Co. I just really love her stuff, and I don't get any kickbacks from that at all. And from the Prairie Planner, I am a PR girl, so you get a PR freebie. Now, I used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to note that I reorganized and I decluttered my squish on this day. That was a really long task. Then I did school pickup and daycare pickup. My biggest and I got in a huge argument about the potty, and I used, again, a shop from I no longer shop for. I did 18 million dishes this night. I got Happy Meal from the Prairie Planner and Sweet Tea Sticker Co. And I used the glitter foil from the kit. I folded laundry, and then after I folded laundry, I filmed my March kit lineup, which was better late than never. If you haven't gone to see my September kit lineup, which I actually got up on time, you can go check that out. I will link that in the iCard up above. On Wednesday, I had an everything shower, and then I took my biggest to the dentist at 9 a.m. Perfect teeth. He was very brave. It was good. Then we went to Costco to buy snacks for the trip. We didn't want to eat out every single meal, so we got a lot of yogurts, some granola bars just to snack on, just stuff so that not every single thing was eating out. And our room was a junior suite, so it came with a fridge. So we were able to put a lot of stuff in the fridge, which was nice. Then my big kid and I had a 2-hour quiet time, which was really nice. I used a sofa from the kit for that. Then a little squish from Fox and Cactus with this amazing font from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. I noted that I had a really bad headache this afternoon. Not sure why. It was just horrific. I used a paper and milk maru to note that I packed the evening before we left, which was very ahead of time for me. Then I went on my walking pad for 20 minutes. It was a pretty good workout. And then I used a filming slate and the filming script from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. just to note that I filmed September 16th through 22nd. On Thursday, I was up at 4:30 a.m. with my littlest. He just had, in hindsight, when I was in it, it was a lot. But in hindsight, this is very clearly a sleep regression. So 4:30 a.m. And then I did a lot of last minute packing stuff on this day, just stuff that you can't do, like toothbrushes and stuff. You got to brush your teeth in the morning. So last minute packing stuff. And then we drove to the outlet malls. Our check-in wasn't until 3 p.m. So we knew that. So we left a little bit later. The kids slept. It was a good time. We drove to the outlet malls, and then we did a lot of outlet shopping, which was really fun. We had lunch at McDonald's, which was also super duper fun for the kids. And they had such a wonderful time. And then the outlet mall actually created a park space for the kids. So they played there for a solid hour and a half. It was really good. Outdoor play. We thought, they'd be exhausted, and they were. And we got to the hotel and nothing was ready. Nothing was ready. And they kept trying to offer us upgrades, but the upgrades were all not kid appropriate rooms. They didn't have the cot for my kids. It was not great. Very frustrating. For the park, I used a squish, and for the nightmare check-in, I put in a pickle from the paper and milk, and then it was a hellish bedtime. The kids had never slept together in the same room. Awful. Just horrific. We now have tactics, so that's good. Then again, we were up at the butt crack of dawn, just a new place. It happens. But they did comp us the breakfast buffet at the hotel for 4 mornings, which was great. So everyone got a great nutritious fruit, bacon, pastry, whatever they wanted for breakfast. After that, we walked over to the inclined railway and we went up and down it. We got a day pass, so we did it a couple of times. The kids thought it was the bee's knees. They thought it was fantastic. Then this is a bit out of order, but we did Niagara Falls and we did Journey Under the Falls, which was very, very, very fun. It was so fun to see it up close. The kids were a little bit nervous, but that's normal. And then we went over to the power station, the museum, which had a lot of things that kids could touch. And we walked the tunnel, and it was so cool and so big. And it ended up under the falls. Sorry if you can tell I'm still a bit sick. In the afternoon, we went over to Clifton Hill, which is like arcade, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. There's so much stuff there. But we ended up at the arcade there, which is the Midway. It's huge. And my little guy actually won on the claw machine, which is like, what? How can you win? I don't understand. I played forever and I won nothing. He played and he got a really, really hard play stuffy. And Anyway, lots of that. It was an awful bedtime. And then my husband and I just chilled with each other in the bathroom having wine, just like decompressing from the awful bedtime. But it was a really fun day. On Saturday, again, we were up so early. We went to 2 different Starbucks to get coffee because we just realized we were out of coffee in the room. And then the thing that was open the earliest was the Hershey's Chocolate Factory. So we went there. We spent a buttload, but the kids had so much fun just checking out all the different stuff. We walked back up Clifton Hill. By the time we had walked up, I'm going so fast. Sorry. So the coffee mug is from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. The Hershey's Chocolate Factory is just like a yummy hot chocolate, melted chocolate with an emoji. The Ferris wheel, I know I have an icon for it somewhere. I cannot find it. So that is just a little half Mandela from Dash of Sun. And then we went and did that. My husband and my big kid went go-karting, which huge success. And then we swam in the pool in the hotel in the afternoon. And then my husband and I watched hockey after the kids went to bed, which was really nice. On Sunday, we had one last look at the falls in the morning, and then we packed up the room, went to the breakfast buffet to get just a little bit of this and that, and then we drove to Toronto. I used a squidge icon from Stick With a Plan Co. just to know that we had a celebration of life for my aunt. Very sad. And then we drove home after a few hours, and then it was a super easy bedtime for my kids. They were wiped out. And then my husband just spent the evening with me watching trash TV and just was being like so emotionally supportive, and I appreciated it. And that was the full week. That was our full week away, our first family vacation. Some, little challenges, but it was overall a really, really fun week. I'm happy to be back on track with my videos. I'm getting there. I'm not 6 months behind. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. And I hope that you are all staying safe and well. Toodles!